All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are tackling a really powerful idea, one that goes against everything our modern cult of busy preaches. We're going to unpack something called the opportunity paradox and find out why the real secret to achieving incredible things might actually be taking things off your plate, not piling more on.
I mean, we've all felt this, right? This constant pressure to have a calendar that's just jammed full, to be juggling a dozen projects at once. It's this weird, unspoken rule that if you're not frantic, you're not important. But what if that whole idea is a total delusion? What if it's the very thing holding you back?
You know, we treat our lives and our careers kind of like an overstuffed suitcase. We're convinced that if we just shove one more opportunity in there, sit on it, and yank the zipper with all our might, it'll all fit. But that approach, it's just broken. And it leads to a really common, and let's be honest, a really frustrating problem.
And that problem, it actually has a name. It's called the opportunity paradox. The basic idea is simple but profound. The more opportunities you chase after, the more problems you end up creating for yourself, and, crazy as it sounds, the less you actually get done.
So here's the official definition. When you're chasing every single open door, you end up spending all of your time and all of your energy just running around in the hallway. You never actually walk into a room, close the door, and get something meaningful done. You become a master of starting, but a total novice at finishing.
So, why? Why do we fall into this trap so easily? Well, it turns out our own brains are kind of working against us here. Let's dig into the science of why we get spread so thin.
Okay, I want you to think of your work life like an all-you-can-eat buffet. There are so many amazing, tempting options, right? New projects, cool networking events, that side hustle you've been thinking about. And because we're terrified of missing out, we just pile a little bit of everything onto our plate. And this slide just nails the disconnect perfectly. On the left, you see the dream, all those amazing, distinct things you thought you were getting. But on the right, that's the reality. It's just a messy, lukewarm pile where nothing really tastes like it should. And that's exactly what our overcommitted lives turn into.
So, there are two big psychological biases that are fueling all of this. First, you've got loss aversion. We are terrified that if we say no to something, that opportunity is just gone forever. And then there's its evil twin, FOBO, the fear of a better option. This one keeps us paralyzed, holding on to every possibility just in case something even better comes along.
And here's the big lie we tell ourselves to make it all okay. Oh, I'm a great multitasker. But listen, the neuroscience on this is crystal clear. There is no such thing as multitasking. What you're actually doing is something called context switching, and it has a massive hidden cost for your brain.
Just look at this number, 23 minutes and 15 seconds. According to research from the University of California, Irvine, that's how long it takes to get back into a state of deep focus after just one tiny interruption. Think about that. Every quick email check, every notification, it completely resets your mental engine.
And this chart just lays it all out. When you are in deep focus on one thing, you're using 100% of your cognitive horsepower. But the second you start context switching, your efficiency just plummets. You are literally running your brain at a fraction of its potential.
Okay, so if trying to do more is the problem, what on earth is the solution? Well, let's take a look at how some of the most effective people in history actually did less to achieve way, way more.
Get this. Charles Darwin, the guy who fundamentally changed how we see life itself. You'd think he was working, 18-hour days, right? Nope. He worked for just 4.5 hours a day in these super focused bursts. The rest of his time, it was for thinking and resting, which is exactly what gave his brain the space for those world-changing breakthroughs.
And here is another absolute game changer, this one from Warren Buffett. His 25-5 rule is a masterclass in ruthless prioritization. You list your top 25 goals, you circle the 5 that matter most, and then, and this is the critical part, you take the other 20 and you actively avoid them. They're not your someday list, they are now your avoid at all costs list.
Because this is the core insight, right here. The good opportunities are the most dangerous things in your life. They're tempting, they feel productive, but all they're really doing is stealing your focus and energy away from the handful of things that could be truly great. So all of this leads us to the central strategy of this entire explainer. Achieving success not by adding, but by strategically subtracting. And this is hard because it means you literally have to fight against your brain's own programming.
You see, biologically, we're wired to say yes. For our ancient ancestors, being agreeable meant you didn't get kicked out of the tribe, which meant survival. But today, that exact same impulse leads straight to chronic stress and burnout. Saying no isn't just a time management trick, it's a biological requirement for doing your best thinking.
When we want to get better at anything, this is almost always the first question we ask ourselves, isn't it? What new app should I download? What new morning routine should I start? What new thing can I add to my life? But the research here is really clear. We have this deep-seated bias for adding things. The truly powerful question, the one we almost never ask, is this: what should you remove? A big 2021 study in the journal Nature basically proved that real lasting improvement often comes from subtraction.
Okay, so let's make this super practical. How do you actually start doing this? Like right now. It all starts with mastering the art of the strategic no.
And look, let's just be real for a minute. In the short term, saying no can feel awful. It can feel like you're being a jerk. But long term, people don't respect the person who says yes to everything and delivers mediocre results. They respect the person who is focused, who is deliberate, and who delivers excellence on the few things they commit to. So from now on, I want you to use this as your filter for everything. When a new opportunity or request comes your way, ask yourself, is this a hell yes for me? And if the answer is anything less, if it's a maybe, that sounds kind of interesting, or an I guess I could, then the answer has to be a simple, clear no.
All right, here's your challenge. Right after this, I want you to pull up your to-do list for tomorrow. Find 3 things on it that are just good, but are not absolutely vital to your most important work. And then I want you to delete them. Don't reschedule them. Get rid of them. And then take that time you just created and pour it into the one task that truly matters.
So as we wrap this up, this is the final thought I really want to leave you with. In a world that offers an infinite number of things to do, you simply cannot do it all. You cannot drink the entire ocean. So the real question becomes, where are you going to focus? What deep, meaningful well are you going to choose to dig?